How do you get people to see things they can't or don't want to see? And this is when you were talking about showing
Getting
data to the
us.
boards and
Yeah. How do we get, oh, well, that's a great question. I don't know your role within the organization, but um, resistance to change, it's all about really change management, is what it comes down to. And as humans, we are very resistant to change. There's nothing wrong with us. We all naturally don't like change because we're wired to want to stay safe, and our brain can sometimes tell us that that change will make us unsafe. So there are three things that I think if we're trying to get people to see things they can't see or don't want to see, there's three things we need to consider as we're kind of pitching that new idea or getting them to kind of come around to us. And so the first is helping them see how they're dissatisfied in their current environment. And I love, I used to work with a public health director, and I know it's attributed to someone else, but this was her phrase that she would always say, never waste a crisis. And so, of course, if you're a public health director, you do not want a chronic disease or pandemic or health outbreak occurring in your community. However, when there is a crisis or when there is even something that's mildly irritating, the more you can help, especially if you have a solution to it, the more you can help people surface their own dissatisfaction with the current state, the more open they will be to hearing what you have to say that will solve their problem. So thinking about what is that natural dissatisfaction and can you surface it as part of your change management? The second is crafting a vision of what's possible in the future. So, if you're working in a nonprofit and your job is to help people have stability or flourishing, and you're getting them jobs and placing them in working environments that will allow them to meet all their needs, your staff likely came to your organization because they were passionate about that particular problem, or at least when they applied and before they started working there for a long time, that's what they originally were inspired to do and work for your organization. So bring back that vision and what could it mean for them if they weren't spending hours pulling together reports and they could be out in the field helping more people get jobs. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean for them? What is that future vision about how they could work smarter, not harder? How they could help more people and be more efficient and be able to go home at the end of the day and feel proud about the work that they did and have evidence of success of the work that they did, right? So you think about the vision of what's possible for addressing those dissatisfaction. And the third ingredients we need are those concrete next steps, right? So if we just sit around talking about a great future and how bad things are, that's actually going to make us feel worse. But what we then need, the third thing we need is, hey, and this is how we can make it happen. And so if we're talking about, having real-time insights into our outcomes that are going to save us tons of time and data management, data collection, it's going to help us raise more money, be more efficient, scale our impact, right? If those were the types of things you're wanting to get people to see, then we will be able to give them those concrete next steps. Like, well, hey, if we invest in this technology like Sure Impact, that by the way is less than a cost of a part-time administrator to have all of this at our fingertips. Let's give it a shot. Let's try it out.